Welcome back to Pokemon Fire Red Omega. Now, due to my major incompetence, terrible things happened to the audio of this video. As such, it totally fucked up and actually lagged the video to shit so that the commentary was practically impossible to sync up to it. So yeah, this was done in post with the thing with two separate parts sped up, because afterwards I messed around with the settings a bit, changed it around, got something that was slightly better but still had really messy audio and laggy video. So yeah, I had to do this. I know, it kind of sucks. I'm working on trying to figure out what the hell is going on with this thing. But it's not going to matter much anyway, since this is a fairly boring section of the game. I can talk about other pointless bullcrap, like the Nuzlocke run. I have been working on the training. Most of my Pokemon, about half the team I plan on using, is already in the low 40s. I want to get everything to level 45. The only Pokemon I have gotten to level 45 at this point is Wei, just because he's really easy to train because of Victory Road with all the Pokemon that are 4 times weak to grass. So yeah, he's done. Working on my super secret special team member, which somebody spoiled. She knows who she is. And I planned on actually swapping out Vins for a W, since really a Dragonair would just be more useful. Plus, it's a water type, essentially. I gave it Surf and Waterfall, pretty much making it a designated water type, even though it doesn't have the typing. So, yeah, he's going to be on water duty, I guess, so I am going to teach him Dragon Breath. And yeah. Anywho, I guess this is an okay point for this whole audio mess to happen, because this is a fairly boring section anyways. It was just me going around fighting all the trainers I possibly could in the Silph Corporation, because there are a lot of them, and if you beat them all, good experience rewards, trust me. The Rocket Brothers. This is a fairly pointless, though I suppose adds character to the whole ordeal thing. The Rocket Brothers, just 4 random trainers around the place who are brothers, and really it doesn't mean anything. Porygon. Porygon is cool. I had Trace, and Trace Salad's Volt Absorb, so I had to stick with Water Gun on it. So yeah, I guess I can explain other things in this part, like my overall type setup. Like, I ended up using more double types than I wanted to, because I've got 2 Pokemon that are electric types and 2 Pokemon that are water types, in Bosberry, Sparkster, and Salad. So what I decided to do is I'm going to specialize them. I'm going to have Bosberry be a pure ice type, because that's unique to it, and having ice types is always handy, especially when it comes to the end of the game and dragons become common. I'm going to have Sparkster, of course, be the designated electric type, since it's the best for it, has Thunderbolt, and pretty good stats. And I'm going to have Salad be on water duty. So Salad's going to get Surf, and Bosberry's just going to be stuck with Water Pulse. Really, the only reason I taught Bosberry Water Pulse was so that I'd have a good stab move. And I think I've stated this before, but Bosberry probably staying as a Spheal until about level 40. Because in this hack, I just can't afford to keep it a Spheal. If I were playing like regular Fire Red, and assuming I actually hacked the game to give myself a Spheal, which, actually knowing me, I might do something like that, then I would have probably kept it as a Spheal the whole game, but since this is a really hard hack, no going there. And I might have to switch in Olala for after this, because my team is really starting to get ahead of her. Well, not really the whole team, it's just she's starting to fall behind some of the other Pokemon. Like, Trap and Gina ended up being really useful here, because there were a lot of Poison types and a lot of Dark types, oddly. And there was also all those Magnetons and various normal types. Basically just a lot of types where they were useful against ended up going ahead of other Pokemon. So, once I evolve Bosberry, she's probably going to end up being more useful, because, yeah, pre-evolution, not too useful at this point in the game. She's already having trouble with keeping up with other Pokemon, even with super effective. Here I'm just checking out the beds to see if you can rest in them, which, as I found out, there is later a place where you can get some rest. But, yeah, not the random beds, for whatever reason. I guess sleeping during a siege with a criminal organization isn't a hot idea, but it worked in Platinum, Diamond, and Pearl in the Team Galactic headquarters. You know, wrap your mind around that. So, at this point, I'm not exactly sure what my plan is. for whatever reason, this hack just does not agree with Cam Studio, so I'm thinking maybe I'll just mute the audio, see if that does anything, and substitute my own music, which kinda sucks, but to be honest, I never really cared for the Pokemon soundtrack that much. Past the first two generations, the music just was never really that appealing to me. I like Pokemon, don't get me wrong, it's just the music isn't really all that great. It's like got a few tracks that are worth listening to, and that's it. Oh. Yeah, I stocked up on a bunch of items off screen so I could avoid, like, trips to the Pokemon Center. So my original plan was just to get to the point where I got the key card and then end the video here. When I saw that this happened to it, I decided to record a second part, like speed this first part off, add some post-commentary, and then go to the second part, and then that part messed up too, so now I'm just doing the whole thing, post-commentary with speed up. And as I said, there are a lot of trainers. How many have I already beaten? How many levels have I gained? There are a lot of levels gained. Overall, this is even though we're not done yet, this is still proving to be a worthwhile venture, and will definitely come in handy against Koga and Sabrina, because this is where the gym leaders really start to take off. If you thought they were hard at this point, now they're really starting to get annoying. Now they have full teams of 6, all the Pokemon are fully evolved, and they're really high leveled. So yeah, this is the point in the game where you want to beat all the random trainers you can. Luckily, part of the thing going in with all the Pokemon being really high leveled is they give a lot of experience, so while typically you probably won't be exactly even with them, you'll at least be able to keep up. Haha. So Viper, you suck. So Viper has like this really insane experience, max experience cap. To get to level 100, I think it needs like 640,000 experience points, which is the highest a Pokemon can possibly have to get to level 100. And very few Pokemon actually have that growth rate. Funnily enough, Gina has that growth rate, but Breloom is a much better Pokemon. Nah, Lantern, you ripoff. Salad is the only Lantern. Anyway, we're getting close to the end of this first part, then we move on to the second part where I tried to remedy my mistake and still failed. Story of my life. Yes, Sparkster, I really just used you for the novelty of having a shiny Pokemon. Sparkster was a completely unplanned addition. I had my team entirely planned out, and then Sparkster just came out of nowhere, and I was like, oh hey, shiny Pikachu. I suppose if I wanted to really try to have something special, I could have just kept it as a shiny Pikachu, but, yeah. Like I said, Prevolutions do not fare too well in this hack. I really have to question why Voltorb uses Sharp, and the only physical move I think it has is Tackle. It would make more sense in, like, the 4th gen, where Spark is actually a physical move, but in this gen, nothing going for it. I'd like to take the approach where you just go from the bottom up with this, but since there are so many doors locked with the card key, that's not really an option. So yeah, I get the card key here, find this last trader, and this is where the first part ends, and Zangoose, yeah, Zangoose. Zangoose is much better than Viper. No, really, it is. So yeah, here's where this part ends. Just give it a minute. And there's where this part begins. So, now we've got this to deal with. Now we've got the card key, we can actually move on throughout the areas and have all sorts of fun adventures. And this is where you find the bed that you can heal up at, so you don't have to head back to the Pokemon Center. Which floor is this? Now we're gonna find out eventually, I guess. You would do well to remember. Tauros! Fucking Intimidate, though it doesn't really do anything to Salad, and I didn't plan on using him anyway. And Swagger. Can work to your benefit or royally screw you over. Good for people who like to live dangerously. I do like Swalot's design. It's not the greatest Pokemon, but damn does it look cool. Tangela does not get useful until Tangrowth shows up. So yeah, that's what kind of sucks about the 4th gen, is that a good chunk of the new Pokemon in it are just evolutions of pre-existing Pokemon. Seriously, how many evolutions were in that generation? Though I do like a lot of the original Pokemon from the 4th gen. I do like. That's actually something I really like about Black and White, is that instead of like going back and just making new evolutions and pre-evolutions, which is sort of a bad habit they got into, they have a completely original roster of Pokemon for that game. So like 100-something odd Pokemon, brand new Pokemon. I never bother to actually remember how many are introduced given a generation. I just know that there's like 649 now. Really, if they keep going with the Pokemon games, I'd really prefer it if they worked on the mechanics now and just backed off on adding new Pokemon, because we have got so many of them now. And there's just Pokemon that are blatantly inferior to others that you just kind of have to bother. Yeah, kind of have to wonder why they even bothered, like with Love Disc and Farfetch'd. Okay, that's kind of not true. If they do add more Pokemon, I want those strictly to be Pokemon that are basically just improving Pokemon that desperately need it, like Love Disc and Farfetch'd. Those Pokemon desperately need any kind of improvement, and an evolutionary family would be more than welcome. Give evolutions to the Pokemon that need it, not the Pokemon like Magmar and Electabuzz. Those were good Pokemon, and while the idea of them going farther is even cooler, it's kind of unnecessary. Kingler, you kinda suck this generation because there's no physical water moves. Not to say that Kingler is terrible, it just needs a little push to be better. That guy is hiding. He's very rude about it. I don't know, how tough can these guys be if one kid can take them out? Slacking has got some of the highest stats outside of a legendary Pokemon, but it's got a terrible ability, Truant, which causes it to go every other turn. I was surprised Sparkster survived there. I was expecting that thing to kill her. Still, Slacking's got an ability that's much preferable to Regigigas, which is, Regigigas has this awful ability known as Slow Start, which basically the way it works is it halves its attack stats, and I think maybe speed for the first 5 turns it's used. So you're basically getting half the Pokemon that's advertised. Really shitty ability. Kinda makes that terrible legendary, too. Like, what kind of fight would you want? What kind of fight would you go into with a legendary and expect it to last 5 turns? And why did that Raichu use Surf? It makes no sense. I mean, I guess it's a callback to Surfing Pikachu. Anywho, the part's almost over. We've just got a few more seconds. Oh, I use an HP up on Salad because Salad has good HP and it can get the most out of it. So, yeah, when I come back, hopefully this will all be worked out and there will be no more problems. Until then, see ya.